How's everybody doing? Welcome back to that podcast on YouTube. Finally got this, man. Oh man. A friend of mine, a long time ago, told me, I could tell you grew up in the South, grew up in the rural South. You love the fuck out of Mama's Family, and I do. It's in my top, I'd say probably my top 5 sitcoms of all times. It's one of those shows where I don't remember watching it that much when it was originally on the air. It aired like 1.5, 2 seasons, probably like a partial season, a full season on NBC, I think. And then it got moved over to syndication like a couple years later. They waited a couple years, brought it back, did 4 seasons of syndication. And I watched it every week because my area aired Saturdays like at 2 or 3 o'clock. Like right before, right after cartoons ended in the movie, because our independent channel, which was Fox, became Fox later on. I think it's an NBC channel now. I want to say it became NBC while I was on the coast. It would do cartoons from like 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays till about 1. And from 1 to 3 was a movie. And it'd be themed, sometimes you get, like for a while you get Kung Fu movies or Abbott Costello or The Blonde. I remember seeing the Blondie movies on there a lot. Or like I remember them doing like a lot of blaxploitation stuff like for 2-3 months. Shaft and Coffee and Foxy Brown and Sheba Baby and Hell Up in Harlem and shit like that. The Mac, Superfly, all that great stuff. And what happened was after that, Mama's Family, and I'd watch it every week. Well, I can actually remember watching the very last episode and not knowing it was the last one, just knew that. Next year, when usually the new season was starting, there was no episodes, and when they showed the old one, it was the fucking ending. I was pissed. Real simple. You got Vicki Lawrence here. She's Mama. Thelma Harper. It's her son, Vint. That's Vint's wife, Naomi, a.k.a. Skeeter. He is married to Thelma's daughter, who is played by Carol Burnett. Betty White's her sister. Rue McClanahan's her sister. This is Vint's 2 kids. They're only on, these 2 and her and him are only on this first 2 seasons. And this is one of those shows, this happened with a couple of shows I watched. Like it'd be on regular air for a little while and did okay, but it didn't do great. They put it in syndication, it became a hit. And I've been wanting to buy this for the longest time, but it was individual seasons and they were on like $30 a season. I'm like, no, man, no. Especially because it's like, I'm not really the biggest fan of the first couple of seasons. They were just kind of, Once they got to once most of the cast left, what happened is when they went to syndication, Rue McClanahan was busy doing Golden Girls by then, so was Betty White. I don't know what Carol Burnett was doing, Harvey Korman. Vince's 2 kids were written off as going off to college, and they needed a younger point of view on there, so they introduced 2 new characters. Iola Boylan, who was their next-door neighbor, even though it kind of contradicts shit from the first 2 seasons, who had a mother who you never saw, but that she described as being, she'd be like, if this woman existed in real life, she'd have her own show on TLC. It'd be like My One Ton Life. And Iola made doilies for everything and just busybody. In love with Vint. Vint was married to Naomi. They lived in the basement. And I can't remember his name, but Eunice was his wife. That's Mama's daughter. Their son was getting out of reform school. He can't leave the state, and Eunice and her husband haul ass to Florida. Now, this is set in Raytown, which I've been told is in Missouri. A buddy of mine lived in there for a long time. I was like, yeah, he told me there was actually a bigger jigger. That was like the big place they always went out to eat. And everything was raised something like Ray Mart. I remember there was an episode where Mama goes back to college and they're having to read a book. And Mama's the only one that doesn't get close enough. They don't call them close enough, they call them Ray Notes. But this show, oh man. Fucking love this show. So, I've been wanting, and like this season set, it was in a bigger box. It was like $80 or something stupid, $100. I'm not paying that. I'll wait. I was like, I'll pop up streaming on something. It's not streaming on anything, and I have only major streaming service I do not have. I don't have HBO Max. I do not have Disney Plus. I have access to Disney Plus. I just don't have it. Because I already got a pile of streaming services, and I'm already dropping a good amount of money every month on it. So I was like, I ain't going to get them. So today, as the day of filming, this is July 2nd. Got paid. Went in town, pick up groceries, and the only place to really shop for groceries is Walmart. So I always go check the DVDs, and I see it sitting there. I'm like, ooh, I want it. And I saw the price. I'm like, all right, it's $60. $59.99. I will pay it. It's 6 seasons. That's $10 a season. Yeah. So let's break this sucker open and see what it says on the back first. A spinoff of a sketch from the Carol Burnett Show, Mama's Family mines humor from a squabbling family in the Midwestern blue-collar suburb called Raytown. The Noiseys clan is headed by Mama, a buxom gray-haired widow with sharp opinions and a sharper tongue who shares her small house with her high-strung sister Fanny, her lazy dim-witted son Vint, and Vint's troublesome children. Season 1's got subtitles in English, France, and Espanol. So let's see here. There ain't much to it. I mean, it's very simple. There's all the discs. It's 2 discs per season, but I don't think these seasons were long. 22 episodes. 22, 25, it looks like. Okay. Let's move that out of the way. Yeah, 25 seems to be the most. I think Pomp and Circumstance is one where Bubba graduates. And there's just all kinds. It was one of them shows. It lasted long enough. They built up like side characters, like Reverend Meacham, who is what is his name? He's a psychiatrist from the Terminator films. I can't think of his name. Bubba's friends, and I can't remember. One of them's name was T-Boy. Which I'm always like, huh? I didn't get it, and I still know. And just man, my whole thing with Mama's Family is this: Vicki Lawrence needs to sue. Oh God, what is it? Tyler Perry. I was out in Texas where I moved. I heard all about him. Medea is so funny. You got to see it. It's hilarious. It's amazing. I had a friend of mine who managed the local plasma center, and for a while, often on his card breakdowns, he'd go, "Hey man, would you mind picking me up for work?" So I go pick him up for work, and sometimes I get there, like, "Man, I'm gonna be here in another 30 minutes. You mind chilling?" "No, not a problem." So I'd sit there, and they'd always put movies on for people donating plasma. Donating, you're getting paid for it. Getting paid for plasma. Yeah, money. I put movies on for them to watch. Well, they had on one of the Medea movies, and I watched. I'm like, you know what this is? This is Mama's Family. It's a not made for TV Mama's Family, because it went a few places. Mama's Family wouldn't go, like the guns and the drug references, but it's Mama's Family. And everybody I've talked to that knows this show, they're like, yeah, you're right. And this is one, I mean, for years and years and years, like after it ended its run in syndication, like about 2 years later, this thing for, God, it feels like 10 years, and it might have been longer because I think it was still airing when I left. Every night at I want to say it was 10. It came on a local channel, 2 episodes every night, Monday through Sunday. No, I'll tell you what, it did not come on Saturdays because Mad TV aired on Saturdays, but 6 days a week. Because I remember being over at a friend's house. We're hanging out. And a friend of his over visiting. We're talking to her and just hanging out bullshit. And she's like, she goes, "Can I ask a favor?" She lived 4 or 5 blocks away. She goes, "I hate to ask because I live so close." She goes, "But I want to be home. I don't want to miss my home." So I'm like, "I understand. Hop in the car. I'll give you a ride home." But and it gets shit on. I've heard it called one of the worst sitcoms ever. No, I've seen a lot worse. I'd rather watch this than Friends, The Office, Seinfeld. Because I knew families like this. I grew up around families, excuse me. My sinuses are acting. I grew up around families like this. It just became one of them shows that I fucking love so much. But, I'm glad I got it now. I'm going to sit down and watch. And probably what I'm going to end up doing is putting a disc in. I get through filming, I'm going to put a disc in and just watch the whole first season. And that's what I'm going to look at. How long were the first 2 seasons? How many episodes were in the first 2 seasons? Season 1 was 13, season 2 was 22. So yeah, the first season was a mid-season replacement. And just all the odd, like Aunt Effie, the crazy aunt that couldn't remember shit. Or Roseanne Hufflander, who was the busybody at the church Mama didn't like. Or was it Roselle or Roseanne? I think it was Roselle. Roselle Hufflander. And that's what's weird. I have not actually seen this show that much in years. It aired for a long time. MeTV showed it on the weekends. They mostly just showed the first 2 seasons. And Logo, which does Logo even exist anymore? I haven't looked in forever. Was airing blocks of this, 3-hour blocks every couple of days. And they showed all 6 seasons. But even though I have not seen this in the longest time, I remember huge chunks of this. And I want to say, there's actually a wrestling episode. Let me look and see. I'm pretty sure there is. A Glow episode. Porn again, Grandma USA. I reckon it was hard to do. Bad for Mama, Mama Mania. That might be it. Oh, the Hawaii episode. Oh, Mama wanted to go to Hawaii bad. And all she wanted was one of them little lamps with a hula girl. And she finally found her like this beach bum chasing her around. Oh god! Just read the titles of River Piles of like Jeopardy. They go on Jeopardy. Oh god! I think they go on Family Feud too. It was just one of those shows. I think it's very much of its time. Because I don't know how this would work for people that didn't grow up seeing this. Because let me look. I'm gonna look on the internet real quick and see when this started. Because I'm not sure. Okay, it was on the Carol Burnett show from 74 to 79. There's a television film, Eunice, which I have somewhere. It debuted in January of 83 on NBC. The last episode on NBC aired April 7th, 84. They broadcast reruns in September 85. Then 2 years later, September of 86, it got picked up by syndication by Walmart Telepictures and lasted until February. It didn't end by cancellation. They ended it themselves. They were already in February of 1990. Wow, I didn't realize it was that late. Damn. And that was like, Saturday. That was a Saturday thing, Get up, watch my cartoons. See what movie they're going to show. If it's nothing worth the shit, I'll go play video games around. And Mama's Family, watch Mama's Family. And then usually, right after Mama's Family went off on that channel, Continental. Continental Wrestling aired, and when Continental went off, you had to kill about an hour and then wrestling. Like, wrestling was on the rest of the evening. That was my Saturday routine. Fuck going, friends want to hang out, come over to the house. We'll watch wrestling. We got hours of wrestling. We got Mama's Family. But I hope everybody enjoyed that. Remember, if you did, give me a like, leave a comment for comments. Anybody else there agree with me on the Mama's Family? Ben Tyler Perry's me just being a ripoff of Mama's Family. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.